how long does it take to kill every boss of every story map in ARK and collect all of the explorer notes across the maps? Well, the short answer is like 8 months, but instead of just telling you that, I'm going to show you my entire journey on Journey's Core, my Patreon-only ARK cluster, as my tribe and I, along with others, progressed through and unlocked each story map from the island all the way to Gen 2, starting all the way back in June of 2021. I've been recording almost every moment of my playthrough with my tribe, and so this is the story of how we explored and saw each and every story map through to the end. This is Journey's Core.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes!
Oh.
So the server launched with just the island, and my tribe and I were one of the first major groups that were there when it all started. We decided to start out in the north, and more specifically, North Zone 2. We had preemptively decided to build in what many of you know as the Hidden Lake. So all of us ran over there as fast as we could before anyone else, but then we spotted an enemy. Or more specifically, our friend Buzzling, who wanted to claim it first. But because we had foundations there already though, Buzz was unable to claim it and had to go elsewhere. Sorry, Buzz. Eventually, all of us met up, though a bunch of people died, like a lot of times, trying to get to the Hidden Lake. After we all got together, we made a tribe. This tribe consisted of Nacho, Nova, Arzik, Shellborn, Superior, Immortal, or Tyler, Screen Peaks, and Seni Armor, or Calico. I got to work with building our base, and all of us were just focused on the normal early game leveling up. Got some tames, and things were going pretty good. After we got an Anki and an Argentavis, metal also became incredibly easy. We decided to venture into our first cave, which was the central cave for us. Got some notes, the artifacts, killed a bunch of stuff, and got out.
I hear someone
I think you're faster than me, Arzik. Tyler wanted a frog because he's just really into frogs, so we ended up by chance finding a 145 female and brought it back to base to add to our already growing collection of tames.
There he goes, alright.
Toilet moment happened, and we got a toilet, which helped immensely with fertilizer. If you're not familiar, toilets are broken and allow you to basically get infinite fertilizer. The boys and I got some alphas, which was really getting those levels up on both our tames and our characters. Anyway, I knew that we'd be getting into water tames soon enough, so I went and started taming ichthyes for Moza taming later on, and stuffed this one into a cryopod. Then Tyler and I discovered that, fun fact, you can use the baryonyx to stun an alpha megalodon. Eventually we decided to take a couple ichthyes into the depths, found an underwater cave, got a note, and my dolphin was, admitted to the cult of dolphins. And that about does it for the first day. But yeah, this is what we've done in day one. This is the first day. We've been playing for about 13 hours, I think. It's been a lot of fun. So fast forward to the next day I was on, which actually was 2 days later, meaning the tribe had progressed quite a bit in the taming department. I logged on and found tames everywhere in the base, which explains the explosion in our population. Went out for more notes, along with some water tames, so Calico and I took Dolphin and a Baryonyx. The snow was really damn cold, I almost died, but after circling the island a bit, I found an old friend of mine named Torch on the beach, in his base. Then I went on to make the long trek across the island back home, since it seemed like it would have been easier at that point. Calico had found a 140 Moza and started tranking it, so I went down to bring him some extra arrows. Shellborn had tamed a Plesio at some point already, so I used it to head down and assist. We tamed the 140 Moza, and it joined the party.
Now I can kill everything.
Found an ocean crate, but I couldn't get it, which sucked. It was a whole 3 levels off at the time. So I moved on, leveled up the Moza with some alphas, started raising a random green Xbox Kairuku, and began expanding the base a bit. So that about did it for the 21st, or in other words, day 2, at least for myself. I started day 3 by farming a bit of meat with one of our Tyrannuses named Fluffy. Then took a mammoth to get wood, kept upgrading, and I was making some serious progress in terms of building our base. I took Tyler out to the swamp cave with a frog, and then I ran out of stamina. Turns out disconnecting in the air doesn't work anymore, just FYI. After I respawned, we continued on to the swamp cave, met Calico there, and ran through it for some epic XP grinding with the Megatherium, Baryonyx, and Beelzebufo combo. Either Tyler or Calico had the Lyopleurodon buff, so we were able to reroll some of the drops if needed. After leaving, the server was about to restart, so we went back in right after to farm the freshly spawned in enemies one more time. We headed back to base once we were done, and honestly at that point, base was starting to look pretty sweet. I went out to the ocean to farm a bunch of black pearls and brought back a whole 230 on my trip with our Moza, Fleshy, who we had a 103 Ascendant Armor saddle for, which was super nice. I finished up the day by farming a bit of metal with a tribe mate and logged off for the night. Day 3 complete. So I logged on to ARK about 2 days later, and thus my day 4 was everyone else's day 6, more or less. Started off by heading out into the ocean and taming a Moza and a 145 female at that. After we tamed her, we named the Moza Calypso. Remember that goal of collecting every single Explorer note? Well, so far we were looking alright, not too bad. Had a couple, but the actually major collecting was only done way later on, so we'll eventually get to that. At this stage in the server, my tribe and I were pretty much just focusing on getting stronger and progressing through the game with gear, level, and tames. Now, we ended up finding a 125 female Giga, which was kind of a big deal, so we trapped it, tranked it, and we would soon have a tamed Giga at that point. My tribe mate and I farmed some organic polymer with the moss cops, brought it back to base, finished the base, and made some new utility additions, namely this industrial grinder. I changed up my clothes a bit, we got the Giga back to base, which we named Joe, and I made a couple more upgrades. The empty stone shell that I made was finally getting filled out with refrigerators, a grill, and proper electricity. Oh, and I upgraded a bit of it to metal. I'm really OCD about cables, so I always end up spending way too much time setting up the flexible ones. But with that, day 4 was concluded. So day 7 was focused heavily on XP and more farming, just the usual. I helped Nacho kill a Titanosaur with a 2x note, a 4x note, and a Broth of Enlightenment, plus the toilet buff actually, which in total gave him about 16 times XP gain, because the XP effects stack and thus multiply. We weakened it first with a Thylacoleo, using its bleed attack to drain the Titanosaur's health, and then I gave Nacho a Broth of Enlightenment that I made with a bunch of woolly rhino horns and had him poop on a toilet. He had to kill the Titanosaur within the small window of time that all of those buffs were applied to him, which was like 2 minutes or something.
Oh! You got it?
Yeah.
Nice.
28 levels, that'll put me at like 104.
I also got 4 levels myself just for being in the area, and it definitely helped that I had a 2x regular note buff myself as well. On my way home, I killed an alpha for that sweet XP for my chibi, and once I was home, I thought it would be a great idea to raise a bunch of Argentavis, or at least one for myself. This would then turn out to be a bad idea. Nacho and I went to go get some metal, and, well, he jumped off the Anki on the way home to parachute instead. He was gonna be fine.
And off I go.
Oh no. Nacho.
I'm fine.
So after that incident, Nacho and I decided to head to the water to get some levels for our chibis, as well as black pearls by killing a bunch of underwater alphas. Once we were done with that, I had enough supplies to make a couple vaults, so that's exactly what I did. Day 7, done. Now, the reason I said that hatching all those Argentavis eggs on the previous day was a bad idea was because they ultimately all died, if I remember correctly. However, I wanted to try again on day 8, so I hatched a new egg and raised my new baby. That wouldn't die this time. His name was Carl. Nothing too eventful happened this day. We tamed a 150 turtle, went out in the ocean, tamed a 130 Moza, farmed a bunch of stone, and Carl was getting pretty big. I next got on day 9, which was pretty significant because it was finally when I decided to start getting notes. Screen and I went out on wolves, which may or may not have made it easier due to their ability to sense explorer notes. We were out there getting notes from all over the island, including those in the caves, for about a whole 2 hours. It was pretty extensive, but we still had a lot to go. Day 10, Carl was becoming an even bigger boyo, so I finally let him outside, and we got some more notes just like the prior day. Day 12, I decided it would be a good idea to start raising some Uteranus to get our UD population up for that sweet, extraordinary kibble. I named all of them after chickens. Now, at this point, the summer bash was ongoing, and as per any event, I make sure to get every single emote, and got myself a Rex costume. I later hopped on the Giga, got a bunch of meat, some wood with the mammoth, and metal and oil with Shellboard. When I was flying through the redwoods, I spotted a 150 Paraceratherium and had the sudden urge to tame it purely for its level, so I did just that after knocking it out and making some kibble. 150 Paracer acquired, as much as we probably wouldn't use it, at all. Speaking of somewhat useless dinos, I also went ahead and tamed a 130 Carbonomies because it looked really cool, and who knows, maybe we could use it later one day for taming Tusos. So that was pretty much it. Day 12 complete. On to the next. Day 13 was a whole lot more explorer note collecting, specifically with the direwolves again. Some of the notes got pretty tough at times, especially being on land-based creatures, so we had to come up with more creative solutions there compared to just fly here and get the note. I knocked out a 150 Parasaur in the Redwoods and quickly rode back to base, grabbed Kibble, and tamed it up. For no apparent reason. Again, we named him Gilbert.
Gilbert.
And that was about it. Day 13 was done. Day 14 was very uneventful. Basically, the only notable thing that happened was that I realized that Arzik and Nova had been completely inactive for many days at that point, and I tossed them in cages to be locked up forever. Then I hopped on Nacho or Shell's Angler and got a couple silica pearls in the deep so we could later make more Uteranus saddles for all those Uties that I'd been raising. Shellborn got some sexy new armor, and that was about it. Day 15, I decided that it was my turn to get a ton of levels, so I prepped for the Broth of Enlightenment, and then I found a Titanosaur. I massively weakened it with a Thyla, and right as my 4X was almost out, I managed to kill it right inside our allies' base, which prompted Buzzling to see what had happened.
Why? Why did you bring it here?
Anyway, that kill got me from level 94 to 104, an extra 10 levels, which meant that I finally joined the club of those who could enter into the Alpha Dragon boss fight. Not that we were even anywhere near that. Shortly after that, Shellborn and I experimented a little bit with a Mammoth Quetzal combo, which kind of works, I guess. But then, while we were in the snow, we ended up finding a 145 blue Uteranus, and it was a female. So we knocked it out, gave it some kibble, and got it tamed up nice and easy. Alright, so here's where things get interesting in terms of our tribe. Because Nova and Arzik were inactive and very much in cages, soon to be executed, I wanted to find 2 extra people to replace them in the tribe, more or less. So we got a new tribe mate named Kelsier.
Anyways,
Hey, that monkey.
He still wasn't too high level, but we'd eventually get him up there in time. Our second tribe mate was a person named Beans, and so I also invited him since he joined on the same day. We now had a relatively active 7 people instead of just 5. I gave Beans a small tour of the base, and then Shellborn kidnapped me and made me pull a Nacho.
Right. Good luck.
this is manslaughter.
Oh, and we tamed a 150 Mammoth, which was super freaking sweet. And with that, I just placed a couple spikes on the cliff to prevent things from falling into our base from above and got off. Day 15 was over. Fast forward a couple days to day 19, which is when I had gotten on next. I started off the day by not committing a war crime and executing Nova and Arzik by kicking them out of our tribe and letting the turret gods decide their fate. Screen and I farmed a ton of metal and obsidian and whatnot, got some sap, some more metal, and oh, that was literally it. That was okay. That's great. Day 20 was also about farming. Eventually we took out Joe and Mama. I don't know where Mama came from. I think they tamed that while I was offline, since I don't have the taming process anywhere in these recordings, but we took them out and started massacring stuff to farm a bunch of meat. Oh, and then we knocked out a 135 Therizino, which I think someone else ended up finishing up the tame for. Day 21 began as I started raising a Uteranus of my own, which was the child of the blue Uteranus we had tamed a couple days prior. I decided that it was about time we get some serious loot, so I made some metal structures, grabbed some scuba, and headed on over to the Easy Water Cave, or in other words, the one that's on the west side of the island. After flying over there and leaving Carl on a rock, I headed into the cave itself. Went ahead and got to a good spot, placed down a little 1x1 with a bed and a box, and looked around for some decent loot. The coolest thing I found was pretty much this fish, but after that I just got out and headed back to Carl. On the way back home, I found a 130 blue saber, which I knew I'd never use, but it looked pretty sweet. Keep in mind this was during the summer bash event, so it was only going to be around for a short window of time. Killed a bunch more penguins with the aid of our lovely corpse consumer, the Moss Cops, and about 2 hours later, after abducting that blue saber, I forgot that I had never knocked it out, so I did just that, tamed it, and I tested out our newly crafted water cave bedbox, and it allowed me to easily get some extra loot saved up with ease by just fast traveling. We were getting really low on cryopods, and so I took a whole bunch of resources over to the Green Obelisk, the nearest, and crafted some pods and some fridges, which definitely helped. I then got those placed down, organized, and I started raising a Giganotosaurus, or Giga. Then I hatched it and named the baby Toaster. Shortly afterwards, Shell and I decided to head to the ice cave to get the artifact and maybe some loot since he had the Lyopleurodon buff, so we took Fluffy and his Yudi. The Lyo buff allowed him to sort of just reroll any loot that we wanted to in case it wasn't great, similar to what we'd been doing in the swamp cave earlier. I got an Ascendant crossbow, which was pretty alright, 229 damage, 325 Dura. We got the artifact, healed our dinos a bit, and unfortunately didn't get the artifact a second time. But we were in the room long enough that the same drop of the crossbow had respawned, this time with an Ascendant wooden shield, which I was really happy about. We fought our way out of the cave, and Fluffy survived, just barely. With that, I was pretty tuckered out and headed on back to base to log off for the night. I started day 24 by hearing that one of the other tribes, the Noodles, had defeated the Alpha Overseer. This meant that Scorched Earth would then become unlocked and players could transfer on over to it. I checked the leader, Fuzzy's implant, to confirm that he had done it, and went ahead and opened up the server. My tribe hadn't yet killed the Alpha Overseer, nor really any boss at this point, so we didn't let ourselves transfer over quite yet, but we knew we'd eventually get there. Just knowing that they had already beaten the map for themselves only made us want to get to the boss stuff even faster, and so we did. We were starting to get into breeding, though more specifically Shelborne and Screen. Theres and Megatherium were a pretty big focus here, with the Megas for Broodmother and the Theres for Megapithecus and Dragon. Thus, I needed to do my part, and so I started raising 2 Theres of my own to contribute to our growing boss army. Toaster was getting pretty big, I cryoed everything, and then I hopped off for the night. Day 25 was largely about hopefully getting Tyler or Beans leveled up, since they were still below 100, which was a requirement for the Alpha Dragon fight. After doing a whole sweep of the island with Tyler to look for a Titanosaur, we found nothing, unfortunately, and headed back to base until the next day when I'd search again. Also, my blue Yudi Yodi was getting pretty big, which was exciting. Anyways, the next day I went out searching again, and at last I found a Titanosaur. Beans wasn't on at the time, and so it meant we could finally level Tyler. So I picked him up and we headed over to Crag's Island.
When do I start?
You can start shooting it now. And just be backing up. As soon as it's too close to you, I'll come pick you up. Alright, stop
That's
shooting.
now. That's
Run.
now. That was kind of too close for comfort. It's running now.
Nice.
Yeah!
Alright.
I got
Oh my
17
It
levels.
fell into the water, dude.
While he still had a boost, we also killed an Alpha Rex, which helped him along
Yeah, I
even
got
further
it
than the
inside.
already level 103 he was able to get to from the Titanosaur. On day 27, I went ahead and expanded the base just a little bit to fit some extra vaults, since we were getting pretty full with the limited categories that we were sorting them into. And we even had a neat little area with a box designating all of the Apex drops and trophies that we need to summon each type of boss: Broodmother, Megapithecus, Dragon, and Overseer.
Can't remember what it's called. I saw it once in a documentary.
Got the vaults down, some bookshelves, and we just got really organized in general. Shortly after, we discovered Nacho's killing habits. Yodi was about halfway grown. These things take forever, I swear. Screen was next on the list to getting leveled up for the Alpha Dragon fight, so we conveniently found a Titanosaur on one of the middle mountains and almost got her leveled up, except the Titanosaur literally disappeared in front of my eyes. So we had to go find a new one, which we did in the snow, and she got the kill along with the buffs.
Nice.
I got 100 for sure.
Awesome.
Another tribe mate covered, though she actually made it all the way to 106 with that. Vard came and flexed on us with her epic tech armor and fireworks. I wasn't too impressed at the time, but it was a nice gesture and payback for an old prank Zenny armor I pulled weeks prior.
Aw, that's cute.
Screen and I decided to take a pack of wolves out to get some more notes, but didn't turn out too well since it prompted us to fight far more often than flee, and we nearly lost a few because of it. Wolves are maybe not the best option when it comes to getting explorer notes. Anyway, wolves aside, that was it for day 27. I got on next when it was day 29, and pretty much immediately I got into a bolo fight with Nacho. Yodi was still halfway done.
Yodi, you're like halfway done. What the fuck?
Once it became day in-game, Screen and I found a tech Quetzal, only level 42, and we lured it to the ground with honey. What we didn't expect was that after luring it down, we'd actually be really close to the Noodle tribe's base. Nonetheless, I managed to lure the Quetzal all the way into their base because it was pretty much wide open. We then tranked it and it couldn't really get out. It was stuck, and it worked. Shell and I went to go get some more loot from the ice cave after we had such a mostly successful run last time, but once we actually got there, I quickly found out that I had grabbed the wrong Yudi, the exact one which I had taken last time, Fluffy, and which was already super low health.
Oh, it's almost dead.
Shell had brought a Giga, and so instead of just going back, we tried to venture a little bit in, but unfortunately he tried to dismount when the Giga was too far in the ceiling, and it killed him instantly.
They do get random. What hit me?
Oh shit.
How did you die?
Your body
Did I
is
miss?
here. All of your armor is...
I think I meshed.
That was pretty much the end of the run there, and for safety reasons, we just cryoed the Giga, got his stuff, and left. Tyler started raising a theory, which was going to contribute to our army. Nacho, Tyler, and Shelbourne then proceeded to play a game of catch. For fun, of course, a perfectly morally acceptable activity.
Alright, you better hope I catch you.
Can't.
Go for it.
Oh well. He's coming. You killed him, Nacho.
I can't catch up to him.
Let's
you're
like the
dying.
Spider-Man scene. You fucking
Oh, he lived!
fools! You have been headwinked.
After that fun little event, everyone got together for a group photo. Screen and I got a couple more notes, this time trying an Argentavis plus Direwolf combo, which worked a little bit better with the benefits of the note-sniffing ability combined with the flying of an Argentavis. While we were doing that, I found a 145 Blue Doed, which was super cool looking, so I went ahead and ditched Screen to pick that up instead and take it back to base. More farming, all the farming, so much farming. Later on, Screen and I wanted to test if we could kill a Giga with the Thyla's Bleed. The answer was yes, but not without, almost dying. I ended the day by cryoing my babies. Speaking of which, Yodi was 91% and Toaster was 68, so they were finally almost grown. But that was it for day 29. So, day 29 had been the last regular day for about a week because I actually had to go to the hospital for IV antibiotics because my lung condition was really bad at the time. But I got back on day 35, a whole 6 days later after everyone else had been doing stuff, and so thus I had to sort of figure out what was happening and what I had missed. I went ahead and said hi to everyone, including Nacho, and he showed me this new level 222 blue Rex he got, which was one of triplets. Unfortunately, this, along with many other creatures, would later go on to be destroyed by something catastrophic, but that's for later. We didn't know exactly what was coming at that point. Anyway, Screen and I farmed some metal with Nacho just following us on his blue kangaroo like a weirdo, and Shelbourne got on, so I went to go say hi.
Robert, get over here. You're mine. I am back. Oh!
And that's pretty much how the day ended. A great reintroduction to what had been happening in the game after being away for a week. The next day, I examined one of our fridges and noticed that we had a lot of theories ready to be used, raised by Screen and Shelbourne. And that was all I did. Literally, so that's the only thing I did. 2 days later, I was able to get on for a little bit longer. Found out that Toaster had a bunch of levels since he had been unused for a pretty good while. I went ahead and put all those levels in his stats, farmed a bunch of meat, which I tend to do when I'm just bored or looking to vibe. Oh, and more metal, of course, never-ending metal farming. Yes, more stone. Oh, and we discovered a use for my shield, a way to sort of do the tech leggings ability, but with 2 people, and it just takes a lot more time. And with that, day 38 was over. Pretty much just farmed, and farmed a lot I did. For day 39, I made a couple chem benches. We tamed an otter by putting it in an Argentavis' mouth, apparently. And I learned just how powerful kangaroos are by kicking the ever-living shit out of this parasaur. Went home, found Nacho passed out drunk on the floor right before he got to the fridges, rest his soul. Then later on, Screen and I went to Carnivore Island to go get some Explorer notes, since I was missing a couple. We got all the notes on the main island as well as those in the cave, and used a direwolf and saber to clear out the enemies so we could also get the artifact. 40 marked the day that we would have the great culling of Project Course creatures. We cryosicked a bunch of unnecessary tames, including a bunch of UDs, unclaimed them, and then destroyed them with a Giga. This yielded an immense amount of pelt, which at the time was a huge help, and otherwise would have been pretty difficult to get since we didn't yet have a chainsaw, given that we were locked to the island until we were to beat it. We then spent a bunch of time getting some more notes across the island to get them all checked off, since that was a requirement in my case. What's insane is that this was actually my 5th or 6th time collecting all of the Explorer notes on the island, and so it was surprisingly easy, though nonetheless very, very time consuming. Day 42 was when we really started prepping for boss stuff. Broodmother, Megapithecus, Dragon, and notably the mountains of gear that we need for everyone to do Overseer. That was mainly why we were farming so much, just to get the necessary kits for that and boss fight. The Megatherium army was also really building up as Shell had raised a ton. We went to go test how Pelagornis work on getting organic polymer, and it turns out they suck compared to Moscops that specialize in it, or, as I would later learn, a club, so that was good to know. Day 45 started with a close examination of something I had never mentioned, which was that Zeniarmor, our tribemate from the beginning, stopped getting on very early into the playthrough, but rather than executing him like I did with Nova and Arzik, I trapped him in a cage, in a glass room, for the rest of his existence in this cruel world. Up from the depths watched, On day 46, we got a bunch more notes, crafted a whole lot of shotgun shells for our upcoming Overseer fight, got even more notes, and then took a little bit of time to help Beans get to level 100 by having him eat a broth, get a 2x, 4x, and a toilet buff as usual. He got the final shot and successfully killed the Titanosaur, which skyrocketed his levels. Screen and I continued note gathering, this time in the upper south cave, including the first HLNA note we got on our characters at the time. Then we did the same in lower south. From there we headed to the ice cave to get the HLNA note there, which was quite the dangerous expedition, as it always is. Grabbed the HLNA note in the northern snow cave, which is also the only note technically found in that cave. Right after that, we took Tyler and Nacho into the Carnivore Island cave to also get him regular notes as well as the HLNA note.
There's a scorpion behind you guys, so be careful. Oh, there's an explorer note right down there.
Yep.
There's also two bats. Two
There's
bats.
one, and then there's one right beside that glowing room, and then there's one higher up, which we didn't grab yet.
We've got rabies.
We similarly did the same by heading down south all the way to the lava cave. So we continued our journey, and it was filled with joy, truly just so much joy.
Don't kill
Like-
spiders.
Just crouch past these guys.
Oh, crouch.
Okay.
Okay.
Crouch reduces your aggro range.
Oh!
Just make sure to hug the wall so that you're maximizing the the aggro.
Conveniently, someone made a metal bridge, so that was nice. After getting the HLNA note and the regular ones, we got out. Then we proceeded to get a bunch of underwater notes found in the underwater resource caves that contain oil, crystal, and pearls, as well as wrapping around to the western side of the island and getting the notes inside of the easy water cave, along with, of course, its HLNA note. Got a ton more underwater notes, and we tested our luck in the hard water cave to see if we could get all the notes there. Keep in mind, this is quite honestly the hardest island cave to get all the notes in because of just how many creatures spawn in it and the fact that it has like a total of 5 explorer notes, 2 of which are underwater, like straight up in the water for some reason. And of course, 1 HLNA note. At this point, we were getting real close to having all of the dossiers and notes in general, as shown here. We were so close, in fact, that we just marked off the ones we had left and went to each one to top them off. Once we got those, it was about time that I finally logged off for the night. The next day, Tyler and I had to catch up, since although I had all the notes on the island, Tyler was still missing a lot. So we started collecting. Along our adventure, we found a pink dodo, and we named him Gaius Marcellus Nerva. I gave Tyler a new challenge, which was to carry Nerva with us wherever we went as we collected notes. Shortly after getting him, we were getting a note. Then we found a Microraptor, which f***ed off to whatever hellish hole that it crawled out of. And then, right as we were flying off, it came on up and decided to instantly kill us both.
Oh,
Yeah!
Are you
What?
The amount of hatred I have for those things is immeasurable. I fucking hate them. We tamed a Pteranodon, a 150, so that was cool. Turned out to actually have decent stats, apparently, if I recall, though you can be the judge. Tyler and I got a couple more notes, and by a couple, I mean a mind-numbing amount that no human being should ever in their entire life collect multiple times over in the span of a single week. Please send help, I'm a masochist. I carefully repelled Tyler into a dangerous cave, definitely not with the intention of letting the spiders devour him.
No.
We then found the legendary Kairuku Tavern, which was empty and cold. Kind of disappointing, honestly. While we were in the area, we grabbed the Skylord artifact. Then we got Tyler's final HLNA note in the hard snow cave and got out, mostly untouched. And with that, the day was pretty much over. Onward to the next. Day 48 began, and we were getting really close to actually fighting the bosses. All that we needed to do was ensure we had all the dinos ready, along with the apex drops, artifacts, and of course, the gear. Also, I started raising a new Argentavis, a successor to Carl, if you will, named Alpha Carl, though I would later go on to name him Alpha Chad King Carl. He had really good stats because our tribemate Kelsier had gotten some of the really good stats from another line from another tribe, if I recall. We farmed a bunch more stuff and kept prepping with more and more flak, shotguns, and shotgun shells. I tried a new organic poly method with a club this time, and actually it worked pretty well. Our Muscops had been dead for a while and I hadn't gone and tamed one, but this was working pretty well, at least compared to the Pelicornis. I've known for years you could get organic polymer with the clubs, but I didn't realize just how effective it actually is, especially when you drag a bunch into a group and then smack all of their hitboxes at the same time. Anyway, after getting all the polymer back to the base, I went ahead and made some more shotguns that we were going to end up needing, and hopped off for the night, ready for the next day. Day 49 came, and along with it was more organic polymer farming. We also started raising some Archaeopteryx because we were going to need those for the Overseer, at least with the method we were planning on using. We needed black pearls, so I spent about an hour in the ocean farming just that. Vard came to troll us with the flare gun once more, and Flex with her tech armor. Kept crafting armor, but I respec again beforehand fully in crafting skill to make extra good armor from our BPs, and notably made flak and fur. So, when did we start doing the bosses, you might ask? Well, like an hour later, we grabbed everything that we need and headed to the red obelisk as opposed to the green because it already had a few allied dinos tamed at it. First up was the Alpha Broodmother. We had everyone there, including Tyler, Nacho, Shelbourne, Screen, Kelsier, and Beans.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
We don't need it. We got skill.
I was like, don't dismount. I look around, nobody's
Alright,
there. I was like, oh.
On your thing, guys. Hop on your things whenever you're
Hop on your mount, back up.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, hop on Nintendo.
Quick,
Go, 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 go.
hop on.
Stop.
Oh, where's Nintendo?
Get up.
Near me if you see me.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I'm going on this apparently.
Okay, he's on.
She's
I'm
going
on.
in.
That's fine.
Oh, there's a boss health bar.
This is not. This is going as well as I thought, but oh well.
That's fine.
Oh, God. Nacho. Sorry, Shelbourne. Okay, I'm buffing you guys.
Alright. If you're mounted, you
There we
probably want to stay behind it.
Yep, go
Be
for
safe.
it.
Hit her in the
Go bite
butt.
its ass.
Yeah, hit her in the butt, hit her in the butt.
Hit her in the butt.
You're
Get
hitting
the
her
bug
in
buff
butt.
if you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
Only in the butt. Okay.
Get as many bug buffs.
Come on
You
over for
wanna
that
can you
buff.
buff those two right there, Ned? Got him.
Yeah, I'm on ads.
Are you guys
Lots
getting
and
buffs?
lots. Yeah, there's lots of ads coming in that I'm handling.
How are you guys holding up? Oh, Sec Med is super fucked.
Oh.
Ah, my Megatherium can level up. Oh.
Don't
Oh.
level
Last
right now.
one.
Keep going. Just keep going.
No, 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 no.
We lost Dino.
We lost
Yeah.
one out of 19.
Yep. Oh.
Oh.
No!
Yeah.
Okay.
No!
Maybe we do need more health.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
20k the minimum.
Your Dino feels energized.
We need better. We needed better saddles.
No! They dropping.
This is not good.
Yeah, this is bad. I'm pretty
Wait,
sure
is
we
Alpha
failed.
the strongest?
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Just keep hitting.
That's 6 down.
How's your mount holding
Going.
up
She's
Mine's
at
still
half.
18K.
We still might have this.
Mine's still at 3/4 about.
2/3.
It's not over yet. We got this.
there? Office.
But it's
keep
not
going.
I'm
over,
gonna
it's
start
not
biting.
over.
I can bite.
We still got half of our Megatheriums. And it's at half health. Less than half.
How much buff do you guys have left on your?
Yeah, the problem was that those Megatheriums didn't have bug buff. That's why they
13
died.
seconds.
I still have 35 seconds left on my bug buff.
As long as
Shit, I'm
you
getting fucked
keep
up.
your bug buff, you
Is
will
that
win this.
that yellow circle?
And mine just refreshed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine just
3
refreshed
seconds.
as well.
No, bug buff is the insect
Yeah,
killer.
it's yellow. It's yellow. It's a yellow circle.
Yeah, yeah,
Or on the top right.
Oh yeah, it's the sap icon
It's the tree
basically.
sap.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Just keep going.
All right, we're gonna win. We got this.
Yep.
Just keep going, guys. You got
The,
this.
the reason those Megatheriums died is because they didn't have the buff, bug
Yeah,
buff,
they didn't get the 4 times damage resistance.
which is fine. Who cares? They're all garbage to me anyway.
Oh no.
I disowned them because they couldn't
Heal.
succeed.
Oh, I got you, Yodi.
Nearly done.
We got this. Come
Oh,
on.
that was
Fight.
close. That was alarming at first, but you know what? We pulled through.
Oh, I just learned so much
Oh,
tech
I'm on
stuff.
it. It just flung me. What the?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, stay on your mount.
Brood
For,
Mother
like-
hologram.
After the battle, we had no major losses, at least in the case of us as opposed to our tames. We healed up Yodi the Yudi since he got a little hurt in the battle and prepared
alright,
for the Alpha
3,
Megapithecus.
2, 1.
Wait,
Remain calm. Look for your theory. Hop on and don't get off until the boss is bloody and killed.
and stay away from the edges.
Oh,
Brian,
there's like a
monkey.
force field on the outside
Monkey,
for
monkey.
teleporting.
Yeah, you guys are gonna
What is that?
stay where you spawn. Basically.
Where's my
I need
theory?
to get out. Get out. If you can move.
Alrighty.
Find your theories, everyone.
It
Can I
didn't
harvest?
work.
Can I harvest these bushes?
Oh yeah.
I'm actually
Yep.
stuck on these two. Oh, there we go.
All right, are you guys ready?
Harvest the trees, and yes,
Megapithecus is coming. I don't even need to lead him.
Oh,
Oh shit, he is mad.
Buff.
Oh god.
Wait, go. Ape shit.
He is
Oh, Lord.
an angry monkey, guys.
Back
Oh my
angry
god.
monkey.
Oh,
Go in.
Ned, you might want
Almost
to get out
has
of
me
there.
stuck.
he's
Ow.
so mad.
Yep.
Bro, his
just,
knockback's insane.
just hit him,
I'm
guys.
stuck on Phobos. Oh, there's so
keep
many
going.
mini monkeys.
You got this, guys.
Ned's just like cheering on, like, you guys got this. You're doing great.
I am contributing.
Just don't go in the hole. Don't go in the hole. No.
Yeah, don't slip.
Make the monkey fall in the hole.
Don't get too close to the edges because he does knock back and he might knock you off.
Oh, well,
Oh,
this
he's
is
on
a
us.
bad place to be
Hello.
then.
Hello.
He's not
the one.
even attacking. We're
He's
juggling the man.
Falling.
He's the queen.
Oh, I got
He
pooped
is
on.
the queen.
Follow
I got pooped on. No,
Oh no, I got pooped on.
that's
Oh,
kind of
no,
hot though.
poop.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
field around the obelisk, but not on
He's,
the bridge.
Oh, no.
They're going too far.
Helios.
They're going too far. Guys,
That's a waste of them.
back up.
There's not much we can do because those theories are AI controlled.
Yep. Oh god, they're
Can you
eating.
get them? Ow.
Wait, somebody whistle passive?
Can you
They're
get them to like follow you? Follow back?
That's
Well,
what I'm
they're
trying to
still
do.
gonna be aggroed. They're still gonna be aggroed.
Let's just keep going. Just
Okay.
fight. Fight.
Fight. Are you alright? Fight it up.
I think we
Oh.
got this.
That monkey almost just fucking went into the hole. Poor guy.
Ow.
I'm rooting for the monkeys a little bit.
Why? You monster.
The gigantic Pithecus, not the mega
Monkey.
Yeah,
Guys, there's no way we
Oh,
can
he's
lose.
flying, he's flying.
Ah!
Oh no. Oh god. Oh god. Kill them before they go in.
Oh god.
Oh no.
He's falling in.
No.
Okay, don't
I
get
got
out.
Yeah, I got a tech rifle.
Okay,
I got the kill. GG.
Okay.
So, after that really surprisingly easy battle, the last boss on the list before the Overseer was the Alpha Dragon. This one I was especially worried about, but we got all our theories healed up, ready with any cakes they had, and activated the pedestal.
And
Alright.
remember, whistle all the theories as soon as you get in.
Yep,
Well,
I
until
will.
after everyone's mounted, actually. After everyone's mounted.
Just
And then,
Gonna
um,
whistle?
make sure you
Oh, no,
guys
they-
get mounted as soon as you can.
And just
gonna
juke
whistle?
them. And that is.
Because he's on the UD.
Beauty. Beauty.
And remember, the lava is not deadly. You can walk into it and not take damage. So don't be afraid of crossing it.
Lava
It doesn't.
good.
It doesn't make you take any
On
damage.
your mounts, guys.
Oh. Here we go. Whistle.
Okay.
Buff.
He's down. He's down.
Alright,
Yeah,
don't go on your own.
guys,
You're gonna
don't
get
go
fucked.
Target, target.
He wasted his fire breath. Go.
Alright, look at that. He's taking damage.
Alright,
How are you guys doing?
Good.
he's up.
I'm
Right.
All right.
I've got hit like once and not a lot of
Okay.
damage.
Oh, he landed again. Oh, fire breath. Oh, my dino's on fire.
That's fine. We're on theories. They take reduced fire damage.
Oh, that's nice.
What is he?
Yeah, that's why we take theories, because herbivores take reduced fire
Yeah, I'm
damage.
really concerned about him
After
right
He's
now.
he's landing again. Are you buffed still?
Oh,
A
he's
couple of
gone.
them are missing, but most of them have it.
Oh,
Right,
shit.
over there.
He doesn't shoot fireballs when he's on the ground, right?
Yeah.
My
Only-
theory's kind of stuck.
Careful.
I'm dismounted right now.
Oh no, you're on fire.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Watch out. Don't get too close in. Make sure you med brew. Keep an eye on your health, guys.
Don't get hit.
I only used 2 that's fired. Apparently, I didn't have any besides that.
Do you
you have
know
two
where I
weapons?
am?
Well, I have 0
This one
now.
is stuck.
Oh no.
I have some extra.
Oh, watch out. Just don't hop off your nine. What's your health like, Tyler?
My health's nearly max because I just used the second
Okay,
one.
if he ever fucking decides to take off, then I'll put med brews on your theory.
Alright, well, this theory's permanently stuck, so he's just gonna chill there. Helios.
Red.
If only we could juggle him like we did the monkey.
Yeah.
He-
No, he's a little too big for that.
This is not normal. Don't they summon multiple times? Okay. No, he's landing again.
Yeah.
This is a weird dragon.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah,
knows he's
brain
screwed.
worms.
He knows he's screwed. Stupid dragon.
He's
What is
gonna
he-
fire breath.
I thought
He's
dragon
not
was supposed to be like hyper intelligent.
Yeah.
Yes, land, dragon, land for us.
Like this is
Please.
that is characteristic of dragons. You're supposed to be really
Stop.
smart. Not this one, I guess.
This thing it terrifies me.
This dumb creature.
This thing's dumb. Like it's not even fighting.
It's
Are
not
you
even.
a dumb dumb?
Okay, that was big brain of you.
Oh god.
Oh,
Oh!
there goes
This
one.
Oh,
That was the first one.
scared me. Hephaestus! You
No! We can no longer.
died with honor.
He was
Alright.
probably leveled up 15 HP.
Probably.
We'll wanna pick up the theory saddle too, maybe, if we find it.
Oh, he's
Okay.
so low, guys. But I'm
When it dies, okay, just assess the situation.
No,
Keto
Keto.
dead.
Keto!
Yes.
Yay!
And we did it, just like that. If you're curious about the stats of the Megatherium and Theres that we used, as well as their saddles, you can see those on screen here. So, after defeating the first 3 Guardians of the island, we were ready for the Overseer. Kind of. All that we were missing really was the tech armor. So I quickly and haphazardly built an extension onto the base that looked really unnecessarily janky to house a tech replicator. Our tribemates who had never done the Overseer were prepping with the Archaeopteryx, getting used to how it worked as I did this. Once I placed the replicator, we made us a ton of armor, grabbed our shotguns, about 1,000 shells per person, our Archaeopteryx, and everything else, and we all made our ways to the tech cave to kill the final boss of the island. Turns out, didn't go too great the first time. As we were heading down through the tech cave, we ended up losing someone almost right off the bat. We kept on going and made it through the rest, mostly unscathed, but we knew we'd have to run through it again for Kelsier a second time. Once we got to the arena, those of us who were collecting every single note along the way got our final island note in the form of the 4X near the back of the arena and started the fight. Unfortunately, Nacho died partway through due to his jetpack not working. Quick tip, don't use the auto fly function. It can and will likely fail you, causing you to die if you don't have tech boots. Nonetheless, we were able to successfully defeat it, and at the very least, Tyler, Shelbourne, Screen, and Beans and I got the Ascension.
No, I didn't get it!
Catch
Oh,
yourself, catch
oh.
yourself, close it.
Whoa, whoa.
Catch yourself.
Yeah, I got Viking stuff.
I didn't tell me who I didn't say who got the kill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
just
wasn't
fucking
me.
freaked out because I didn't know you guys would die of fall damage.
I found Nacho's body.
I still don't
I
know.
can't carry it though.
Fall
still
to my
alive?
death.
Don't die.
There's
Ned,
a-
you want to pick this up before I fucking?
I'll get it.
There's
There we
a
go.
fly drone that was coming out of nowhere and took me with it.
Oh god, I'm heavy.
What is this thing? Oh, is this the overseer?
Yeah, just get in the circle, guys.
Yeah, look, guys, this is the overseer. I found him.
Oh,
Superior,
Tyler, get
where-
over here.
Tyler-
Get over here.
Oh, no.
Nacho ascending with us.
Yeah, let's go.
Nacho,
Not
it'll
anymore.
be like Nerva, but he's even more dead. Oh god.
Oh, achievement unlocked. Alpha Ascension.
Yeah, got quiet all of a sudden. The cutscene.
Yeah,
You
it
don't
really
have music
did.
on. Yeah.
Reaching for the arc, and it's like, nah,
How are you guys?
that's not for you.
So after that very long day of bosses, we called it quits for the night and planned to do the Overseer again 2 days later for Nacho and Kelsier. Little did we know that the game was going to say,
No, not you, no.
Alright, so the next day, day 51, we still had enough element to go again, and thus we took Kelsier, Screen, Nacho, and I to do it one more time. We opened the gate and headed on down into the cave once more. Everything was going pretty smooth. I found a new way to carry my bird,
Thank you for not dropping me parachute.
and we made it to the terminal, practically untouched. Went through the Hall of History a second time, and we blasted our way through the arena to fight it again. The fight went well, everything was going smooth, but usually when things are going smooth in ARK, that means that something very, very unsmooth is coming up. And that's exactly what happened.
I'm gonna stun myself on purpose.
What?
What the?
Okay. We just
What?
skipped the fight. I think it fell through the world.
What?
So whenever he was spawning minions, he was halfway in the ground. So I think he fell through the world.
And he killed himself.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about this.
Oh.
Hopefully this doesn't like delete our characters or some weird shit. Oh, it's loud.
So it turns out the Overseer bugged and self-destructed, which robbed us of an ascension. Not only did it not give it to us, it literally broke the arena and made it to where we had to die to escape. There was no other way. So all of our kits went poof, just like that. Everything deleted. I was pretty much unfazed by this, just worried for my tribe mates since they were pissed about it naturally. Even though we lost all our kits, I was determined to get off the map and to get Kelsier and Nacho ascended. And so that is exactly what I did. Now cue the farming montage! Among the farming was doing the Megapithecus a couple extra times, since along with regular resources, we were also out of element, which is only farmable by killing bosses. I figured the Megapithecus was the easiest to farm since we already had a bunch of the Apex drops, and it granted a decent amount of element, plus having very little health compared to the Brood and Dragon. So, after farming the Megapithecus too many times to count, granted it was Gamma, I cryoed everything up and logged off for the night. Day 52, we were ready to go again once more. We had new tech armor. I made the decision to demolish the lake structure that Nova had been building since it wasn't in the tribe anymore and it was just taking up a bunch of unnecessary space. Sorry, Nova. But then my game crashed, so I guess he sort of punished me from the grave for desecrating his structure. As a fun fact, do not demolish a ton of structures all at once unless you're on low memory mode. So we had all the supplies together and we went back to the volcano for round 3. So we opened the gate, took everyone down, and this happened.
Oh, that's terrifying. Please don't scare my Archibird.
Oh, mine's just sunk. Yep.
Oh no!
Oh no.
So did mine.
Oh god.
I'm so fucked.
No.
My Archie died. My Archie died.
Sprint. Super run.
My Archie died. I'm so dead. I'm dead.
Mine's just not working at all. Yeah. That's really cool. Mine just stopped working altogether.
I'm gonna die.
Kelsier, you can run. Yep.
I'm gonna die here. My stuff's breaking. This is not good.
Can you super? Oh, is it?
That's really cool. What canceled our Archies? Like, even after jumping several times, he just sunk straight down.
So it turns out Rexes can stop Archaeopteryx from working when they roar at them. This causes them to literally just stop flapping completely, which turned out to be very important because then Nacho died, Kelsier died, and Screen died, all because a Rex that didn't even touch them. So that left me as the only one alive. I couldn't find anyone's bags, unfortunately, and if we had any hope of even my stuff making it out of the cave, I'd have to somehow single-handedly kill the Overseer with my 1,000 shotgun shells and limited med brews and element. I didn't quite have enough shells anyway and then died by accident. So, you might be asking, what did we do next? Well, I think you know the answer. Yeah, so that was it for day 52. Overall, another horribly defeating and depressing day for everyone, but stay tuned because just the next day would turn out to be our last for the island. Day 53, I started by killing Gamma Megapithecus and farming a bit of element. One of our allies, the Noodles, had provided us with a couple of arcaes out of pity for us. Thanks, guys. So we got everything together that we needed for one more run and hoped for the best, but this time we had a plan. Right when we opened the gate, I was going to take an arcane in there, naked. I'd lure off a bunch of the dangerous stuff and ensure that the path was safe before the others came in. And it worked! Anyway, after I died, I grabbed all my stuff from our trusty Pteranodon Rusty and dashed into the cave as fast as I could. Now that the creatures were cleared, we made it through the cave just like that. We got to the terminal, ran through the Hall of History, and we finally made it to the Overseer platform for my own 4th time on this character.
I'll salute every time I stop or stand.
Damn it, stop moving so quickly, Overseer. What the heck?
Alright, it's changing.
More minions.
Nice.
We killed it. We actually killed it. But instead of
Finally.
celebrating,
We did
I
it.
was pretty dead
Fourth
at this
time.
point from farming for like 30 hours in the past week. But nonetheless, I was happy. I was glad that we were finally done with the map. We were done with the island, this map that we'd been on for so long, and for what seems like probably not that much time in the video itself. It was like 2 months. It was like 53 days, literally. So this was quite an accomplishment. It felt awesome. I mean, anyone who's beaten the Overseer in ARK knows what that feels like. And, you know, I'm glad that I got to experience that with my friends on Journey's Core. So here's the cutscene with no voiceover. Thank you everyone so much for watching. This video took a very long time to make, and I just want to say thanks for checking it out, and I hope you liked it. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video to see more. In the next episode of Journey's Core, you can see my tribe and I as we tackle all of Scorched Earth, tame tons of stuff from it, collect all the notes, and defeat the Alpha Manticore. So stay tuned. If you'd like to join Journey's Core and play with us and other survivors, you can join our server by becoming a patron. Link is in the description. In any case, thanks again so much for watching, and good luck, survivors.